Good morning, Chitty Boo. You know what I'm doing, Chitty Boo? I'm getting my, I'm mixing up my black girl vitamins. I got iced coffee this morning instead of the hot coffee. How are y'all doing? Good morning, Rashay. Good morning, Kizzy. So we getting the black girl vitamins so the skin can continue to grow and the hair can thicken up and shine and all that stuff. We're gonna talk about Horn Island, Devil's Island, Rikers Island, the island of no return, the island where you go with your friends and they leave you and act like they don't know what happened. They get home and disable their social media accounts. What you hiding? Devil's Island. Devil's Island. Good morning, lovelies. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So I know you guys have been watching the news. Well, maybe not, but it's been all over the news. 4th of July weekend. I think the little boy was 18, 19. They all went to the island. Now they saying a couple of the little boys he was hanging with, parents or judges, lawyers, I don't know. Down there in the Mississippi, somewhere down there in the Delta, I don't know. You have your coffee and collagen too. Okay, one time for the black girl vitamins. Hi, my name is Phyllis. How are you? Yes, my skin is glowing. Why? Because every morning I take my black girl vitamins, and you should do it too. Uh, 4 kids in Compton was killed. What? Trueness, good morning. What happened? Oh, I hadn't overnight while I was sleeping. Child, it's hard out here. I see why my daughter said she was gonna homeschool her kids. And my daughter went to Central High, was a cheerleader for 4 years. She was at the most public school you could be in. Baby, her kids are homeschooled. Through the system, they have to follow the curriculum and all that stuff. But at first I wasn't for it, but baby, I am now. Folks are crazy. But y'all, so these boys here, you got they all got on their shades. They're all shirtless. One thing I noticed, do you all notice anything? Now these are 18, 19-year olds. Do you all notice anything in particular? What do you all notice in this picture? I'm still stirring my coffee. Do you all notice something in this picture that stands out right away? And Benjamin Crump has been hired as the attorney too. The family started a GoFundMe, and they have hired Ben Crump and Company. Hopefully, they won't try to cut their thing off. But okay, so it's three white boys, one black boy. He was the only black on that group. Which that happens. They drinking ultra light. I thought they was 18 years old. These boys out there drinking ultra light on that water. I thought they was 18 years old, 18, 19. In Mississippi, can you drink beer and buy beer at 18 and 19? Do y'all know? In Mississippi, are you allowed to drink beer before the age of 21? Isn't that, I mean, they should follow the same laws as the other states, right? I know some states sell liquor and beer on Sunday or whatever, like Arkansas. We don't sell beer on Sundays. The red necklace or beads, while the others had white. The boys unalived him, I'm sure. No, they got some ultra lights in their hand. They drinking underage, first of all. They drinking beer like I'm drinking my iced coffee. They probably been drinking since they was 10, allegedly. But they got beer in their hand. Let me hold up. I pulled some stories I want to play. One thing I know, and two for sure, somebody killed him. Now who it was, I don't know. But they know who did. Somebody know what happened. Let me see what I got here. Let me play this.
Black people, you have got to teach your kids, especially your kids that are hanging out with rich white kids. That is not good. You got to stop letting them hang out with rich white kids. This Nolan Wells situation never should have happened. The parents of Nolan Wells should have known better than to let him hang out with these kids. I have an older son. I'm not saying it's the parents' fault, but I'm just saying it happens all the time. My older son is half black. He looked more black than he did half. We as parents, we have to do a better job in informing our children about who they should and shouldn't hang out with, because matters. The color of your skin matters, especially when you're hanging out with a bunch of rich kids that have, doctors and lawyers and judges as parents. You know that your kid is going to either wind up locked up or dead. So my heart goes out to Nolan Wells' family. I really hate that it happened to him, but you gotta protect your children, because white people will kill your children at the drop of a hat. It's just the way it is, especially these entitled little rich white kids.
Okay, let's get straight to the point. So to piggyback off what that guy just said in this video, well, this picture right here is what some would call a root beer float. No disrespect, but it's not hard to determine who is the root beer in this picture. Now, rest in peace to Nolan Wells. Everyone all know by now what happened on 4th of July down in the Gulf Coast of Mississippi. Nolan was with some friends on a boat ride. Well, a lot of people go hang out for the 4th of July. And Nolan eventually, did not make it back.
I mean, I know somebody said that's a negative message. Yeah, it was negative, maybe too negative, maybe too true. I mean, I don't know. But somebody say drinking and on the water never mixes. Well, they were definitely on that boat, on all that water, drinking ultra lights. They not 21. That's the first problem. They drinking and shouldn't be drinking, and drinking and driving. Who driving the boat? Y'all don't get it. The media and everybody trying to have a race war, and y'all biting the bait. I'm not having no race war. I'm just reporting the news.
Friends made it back, but Nolan didn't. So there's a lot of uproar going on right now. This right here, this picture is clearly you can see to the right. That is the island, Horn Island, where Nolan Wells and his group of friends and a lot of other people gathered for the 4th of July. Now, it took 2 days for them to finally discover Nolan's body. And the family had to go out there and identify that there was their son, the mom and dad. There's a sad situation for your son to go out, have some fun on the 4th of July, but don't make it back home safe. Now, the family has since made a GoFundMe, which they have raised almost over $124,000 and started climbing. But now, since raising this money on this GoFundMe, we talk about 6 figures. They have now since hired civil rights attorney. I think he's a civil rights attorney. Attorney Ben Crump. We all know who attorney.
So they raised $124,000 thus far. They need more than that. It's gonna cost more than that to have a good attorney. Something happened and we need to know what happened. Okay. What do y'all think happened to the little boy? Why was he left on the island? Right here in this picture, it's all four of them on the boat together. You went together. That means you come back together. Bad boys for life, right? Why was he left on the island? Why was he left on the island? I mean, I don't call it, I wouldn't say that it's a race baiting. It's just telling the truth. He got left on the island and now he dead. That's just the fact. Shit. But why was he left on the island?
Attorney Ben Crump. We all know who Attorney Ben Crump is. So Attorney Ben Crump went to his IG page to confirm that he has been retained by the family. Ben Crump wrote this as his caption. He said, "We've been retained by the family of Nolan Wells, a beloved son, teammate, and friend who went out to celebrate the 4th of July and never came home. The wide receiver at Southwest Mississippi Community College was preparing to return for the upcoming football season and will have turned 19 next month. His family deserves answers. They deserve the truth. We will not rest until every fact about what happened to Nolan on Horn Island is brought into the light. And we call all investigators to pursue this case with the urgency and transparency this family deserves." So if y'all not familiar with Attorney Ben Crump, when things like this happen and there are some doubts about what happened, then Attorney Ben Crump, he shows up to get some answers.
We don't just ask for justice, we demand it, we fight for it, and we achieve it.
So often we get asked the question about the differences between the police departments or law enforcement trying to stonewall the requests that we make and the evidence that we're asking for versus a large corporation with so many resources trying to essentially do the same thing, to bury the evidence that we're asking for. It's essentially the same thing. If we take this idea of trying to hide and to bury, it's just simply a tactic that many people use to just avoid accountability.
Katie McCormick, the girl that Nolan was talking to and was last seen with before he attempted to unite with his friends, she is now going to be cooperating with the police. Okay, her family has lawyered up, and they have released a statement basically letting it be known that they will be cooperating with the police. Katie recounted her.
So she's talking about Katie, who's a little girl, Caucasian girl that he was with over on the little boy, Nolan, the black boy, was with Katie over on Devil's Island before he vanished without a trace. Well, not without a trace. They found his body. He's dead. How did he die? I want to know the cause of death. Was he hit in the head? Or they gonna say he was trying to swim? I'm sure he could swim. He looked like he could swim. I'm sure his parents put him in swimming classes like I did my kids long ago, and he learned how to swim. Maybe it wasn't at a local boys club like my children at the Thrashers Boys Club here in Little Rock, but I'm sure he could swim. Hanging around those, the folks he hung around, I'm sure they swam a lot. I'm sure he could swim. So how did he die? I mean, we just want to know how he died. The main thing is, why would you leave your friend over there if y'all went together? And maybe nothing. I mean, we don't know what happened. I'm not calling nobody a killer. I just want to know what happened. Good morning, hey Philly, good morning. I just want to know what happened. Girl, this got me scared because my son be hanging tough with this people. I will have a talk with him soon. They do this all the time as initiation to people all the time. Too much alcohol, they got drunk. They show enough drinking and they 18 and 19. They got some ultra lights right there. Drinking.
They will be cooperating with the police. Katie recounted her her meeting with Nolan, stating that he was supposed to, they were together. Her parents spun the block and came and picked her up. And he was supposed to return back to the boat with his friends because there were several boats in the vicinity. And from her knowledge, that he had gotten back to that boat with those friends safely, putting Nolan's last encounter, or his last known encounter when he was alive, with the friends.
Now that is some good.
So Nolan Katie says that Nolan, her parents can't get Katie off the island, off Devil's Island. Katie said Nolan was headed back to be with these boys. Allegedly. These are the last people known to have seen Nolan alive. So look, you little suckers, why did you disable your social media accounts? What are you hiding? Why you come back? You should be worried about your friend. Ain't that your friend to the end, Chucky? Y'all all on the boat drinking and hugged up together. But now you want to get back here off of the Devil's Island and get rid of your social media accounts. What you got to hide? If you don't have nothing to hide, why you couldn't just come back and say? So therefore, I know you're lying. Somebody lying. One of you know what happened. One of you know what happened.
Information right there. But most importantly, accountability is definitely what people want right now in this Nolan Wells case. Now, people gotta, be prepared for different outcomes. There's a chance that when this autopsy come back, that it can be, ruled as an accidental drowning. Nobody really knows what happens out there. We just all speculating and going off everything that's coming in from social media and everything. Now, let's move on to Jackson County Sheriff John Ledbetter, because people are outraged about him right now after he did his interview with ABC Good Morning America. The thing he went on there and said got people feeling some kind of way, like something is fishy in the water, like pin trap.
Nolan Wells was on a boat. He left from a private dock area in the Ocean Springs area and proceeded with his friends to Horn Island. They left and went back without Nolan. From what we understand, he chose to stay there.
Now, Sheriff, why would Nolan Wells decide to stay on an island that the only way you can get back is by boat? You can't drive or do none of that. I mean, what did y'all expect him to do? Walk on water like Jesus? I think not. Now, like I say, people are kind of outraged about the sheriff going on national TV to even say that. Because, it's almost setting up something like, yeah, Nolan wanted to stay out there. They left, he wanted to stay out there. People feel some kind of way because they saying one of the friends' mom is a judge and all this kind of stuff. So people feel like it's some funny business going on. And there ain't no comedians right here telling no jokes. But, I'm trying to figure out, why did they even Good Morning America interview the sheriff? Why not interview the family? But, according to what people are saying, the mother and them, are not ready to talk yet. So they probably will talk that after they have retained their attorney, Ben Crump. They probably will go make some appearances. Now, as the Jackson County Sheriff Department, law enforcement, and everybody that's going to be involved with this case start digging deep, they first need to check into this whole thing about this argument that happened out there. Everybody had been seeing the video all online. In my other previous YouTube video, I posted about it. You have to listen really close to the videos that's been posted, because somebody was clearly having a conversation. There was clearly comments about that video where people was there as witnesses saying that, yeah, the group he was with was arguing. Now, who was arguing? What? We don't know. But it was a conversation going on, and there was plenty of people there that saw it. There was a lot of people out there on them boats for the 4th of July. The island, to my knowledge, what people are saying, is pretty big. But in that area that they was in, there was a lot of people right there. Even if you look at the videos, you can see that. So there's a lot that's going to go on with this. Like I say, prepare yourself that this can be.
So allegedly, but I haven't. They say that these group of boys was arguing. I mean, I don't know. That's alleged. But my thing is, I don't want to get on no boat on no 4th day of July. Isn't it a rap song? Who made that rap song, Hotter Than the 4th Day of July? Is it Biz Markie? I don't know, but I don't want to get on no boat and go sit on no water in no damn heat all day. That just don't thrill me. I'd rather be sitting in my house chilling in some cool air. Not in no hot air. Well, and see, that's the difference. I don't need to be under no direct sunlight beaming on me. I don't I don't need no extra coloring over here. I got enough. I got enough. And Mello, you didn't need no damn sun either.
This can be ruled as an accidental drowning. We don't know. But people are waiting patiently to see what is going to turn out to be. Now, like I said, the family also has retained attorney Ben Crump.
So yeah, we know we got Ben Crump. Let's see here. I had another video. What did I do with it? No, maybe that was the only one. Let me see what this one says.
All of the white boys who were on the trip with Nolan deactivated their social media accounts before his body was found. All of them. They all deactivated their social media accounts before his body was found. They couldn't remember. They didn't remember anything. They don't know where he went. They had his phone, but I don't remember. I don't know. He just didn't come back with us. But they all just deactivated their social media accounts. Yeah, don't play in my fucking face. All of the white boys who were on the trip.
So y'all had his telephone. Why y'all got his phone? You know, young boys and young girls, baby, don't take their phone from them. Don't take their phones from them. And then listen to this man. Listen.
All of the white boys who were on the trip with Nolan deactivated their social media accounts before his body was found. All of them. They all deactivated their social media accounts before his body was found. They couldn't remember. They didn't remember anything. They don't know where he went. They had his phone, but I don't remember. I don't know. He just didn't come back with us. But they all deactivated their social media accounts. Yeah, don't play in my fucking face. All of the white.
This is a channel where we keep it real. We talk about the evidence and what really happened. The evidence is 4 people got on a boat and went on Devil's Island together. And 3 came back and they left the other one. So that's just the way it is. Now, the 3 that came back was white. The one that didn't get back on the boat and is now dead is black. That's just plain and simple. But my thing is, why do you leave someone that you come with? I don't give a damn if they Chinese. I don't give a damn what race you are. You don't leave your friend. If you go together, you come back together. Like we used to do back in the day when they had mobs, got into it with one of them and then turned on him. I don't know what do y'all think happened? What could they have gotten into an argument about? Where they gonna just leave? But that's incriminating itself for you to have the person's phone. Why, if you had his phone, you know he can't make no calls. Do the phone even work on Devil's Island? Because there wasn't nothing but devils out there on that island. That's the Devil Island with horns coming out the head. That was Devil's Island. They wanted to clear that phone of evidence. I wonder what kind of evidence it could have had in it. Let's see what else they got over here.
Reliant's one of the best at finding leaks on your water lines. We have all the necessary equipment to pinpoint where the leak is?
Little brother's point of view to all of you here, there, and everywhere. Now check me out.
This morning, the desperate search for answers in Mississippi after the death of 18-year-old Nolan Wells. Authorities recovering a body believed to be the teen. Investigators and volunteers from the Cajun Navy spent the weekend urgently searching for Wells after he vanished from Horn Island on July 4th.
Nolan Wells was on a boat. He left from a private dock area in the Ocean Springs area and proceeded with his friends to Horn Island.
Wells was visiting the barrier island 10 miles from the Gulf Coast, boating with friends, last seen about 3 p.m. Saturday.
They left and went back without Nolan. From what we understand, he chose to stay there.
Later that night, when he didn't return home, his mother reporting him missing to police, then quickly taking to social media, posting pictures of the teen, pleading for help finding him. The heartbreaking discovery made about 8:45 Monday morning when authorities say the Mississippi Community College wide receiver's suspected body was found in the water just off the shore. His mother writing, "His father, our family, friends, and I are absolutely devastated," describing Wells as a sweet son who was always willing to cheer and uplift others. Now, investigators say they suspect he drowned, but they're still interviewing friends who were with him as they work to pinpoint what exactly happened.
That's why we're still asking for information if anybody.
They suspect he drowned. I need to know from the parents, could he swim? Now, it's clear that these boys, he's not holding a beer right there, but I think I may have seen another picture where he's holding a beer. But two of the boys got ultra lights in their hands, so we know they're out there drinking on Devil's Island. And they might have had alcohol too. Don't get full of that alcohol and think that you... So it could have been alcohol as well. But we know they got some ultra lights out there. We know they was drinking beer. Hot damn, it's the 4th day of July. 250 years of this good old shit. It's hotter than hell out here on Hell's Island. They was out there on Devil's Hell's Island and left somebody out there. You leave, you get on a dock, you go to the dock, get on a boat, go to a damn island in the middle of the water. All y'all get off the boat. And everybody get back on the boat. And you see Phyllis over there, you just gonna leave me. Oh, she gonna stay on there. How the hell I'm gonna get back? Swim across I'm supposed to swim back to the dock? Why you low down pieces of shit left that boy on that damn island? Who pushed him in the water? What happened to him? You filthy animals. We need to know what happened. Because somebody know what happened. Somebody lying. And I want to know who lying.
He has any knowledge.
And that information, the sheriff says, will help them paint a better picture of what happened to Nolan in the moments before his death. A toxicology report from the coroner's office is still pending. Guys?
Yeah, situation. We are definitely thinking of Nolan's family and just hoping that they'll get the answers that they desperately are searching for. Alex, thank you for being on this for us.
Cold-blooded demonstration. How in the hell, right, that Nolan left with these boys, and then all of a sudden he decided, hey man, I'm gonna stay on the island. They leave him on the island, but somehow they left with his phone. Out of everything else, I mean, like, look, the way that we use our phones nowadays and how important our phones are to us nowadays, you mean to tell me that
I got 2 phones, one for the plug and one for the... I got one phone you look at me on and I got this phone. We got 2 phones. You know you don't be taking nobody's phones. Nolan probably had 2 phones. One for the plug and one for the what? Why y'all have his phones? Look at them. They got that. Ooh. I want to say some things, but I'm not. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not.
To us nowadays, you mean to tell me that this boy said, hey man, I'm gonna stay on the island, man. Y'all go ahead and go. Y'all take my phone with you. You see, how did they end up with his phone? And not only that, I mean, if they saying that, hey, check it out, we wanted to leave and he wanted to stay, then who did he stay with? Right? Who is the people that he said, hey, look, I'm gonna kick it with these people right here. Y'all going on back, man. I'm gonna kick it. Where are those people? Where's the people that he chose to stay with? Where's the people that he was communicating with, laughing and giggling with when they left, when his homies left? Where are
I want listen, I don't know who the phone carrier, the cell phone carrier is, but they can pull those messages and we need to see every text message trail. Y'all might have thought y'all could get the phone and delete everything in it. No. His mama and daddy, I'm sure they was paying his bill. I want every text message retrieved, good or bad. I don't know if I want to see everything in my kids' phones, but I got to do it. Lord help me. Let me see what they've been doing. I hope it wasn't no freaky shit. I want to know what, but he's right. What you mean I'm gonna stay? Who am I? Who did he stay with? And why do you have his phone? He can't call nobody. Why you got his phone? Why y'all got his phone? And then you get back and you remove your social media. You knew you guilty right there. You guilty. Guilty, guilty, guilty. You guilty. Y'all guilty. I don't know. Oh, you guilty.
are they? Are the police talking to them? Because the police ain't said nothing about them. All the police is talking about is what his friends had did and what they had said. You see what I'm saying? And according to reports, they are saying that, yeah, his friends is cooperating with authorities. But unless you call, we don't know where he's at, and, he decided to stay back when we left, is that called cooperating with authorities? You see what I'm saying? I don't see that as cooperation. I see that as running the play, saying, hey, man, look, after we do what we do to this boy, man, when we go back to the land, we going to say, hey, man, he decided to stay back. You see?
Law-abiding taxpayer, proceed lawfully. Good morning. They had his phone. Yeah, they did. Good morning, official child of God. Very sad. You cannot go with your friends anywhere, to a club, on an island, or vacation, nowhere. I ain't going nowhere. I'm staying. If I don't drive myself, I don't want to go. I ain't go with my children. Yes, it was on Facebook. The parents was reacting and short pictures and wanted to know, did anybody know what happened? I don't understand. I must be tired. You don't understand what? He drowned in the water, no foul play. Okay, but if he drowned, okay, did he drown before they left him? Did he drown before they left him? Did he drown while they were still on the island? The whole point is you don't leave no man left behind. You don't leave nobody behind that came with you. So did he drown after they left him on the island? It's still, why did you leave him on that island when he came with you? Then you get home and you wash and remove your social media accounts. It's giving you guilty of something. Not that, and maybe they not, but you making it look like you did something wrong. What are you trying to hide? Why did you leave your friend on the island? A bit like, no, man, you coming back with us. You left with us, you coming back with us. Period.
You see, he decided to stay back, and shit, we just left. He told us we can go. Oh, but we got his phone, though. He left us with his phone. You see what I'm saying? And it makes me think, why did they want that phone? What was it about that phone that they had to have, right? And I guess they must have believed in their mind. You know, I'm making assumptions here. They had to believe in their mind when they had the phone that damn, this phone can be tracked. You see what I'm saying? This phone right here is bouncing off phone towers. This phone is telling where this phone is snitching and saying, hey, look, his phone is over here. You see? So we got to turn the phone in now. We got to get that phone to authorities and say, hey, man, you know, he left us with his phone. Or was it something in the phone that they was trying to erase, but they couldn't get in it? They trying to put his codes in it. They couldn't get in it. So they couldn't erase what was in the phone. What I'm assuming is those pictures. And these are the pictures that I'm talking about. These pictures right here are the pictures that his mother posted on her Facebook. And I believe she doing this strategically. I believe she posting these pictures on her Facebook saying, hey, look, these are the last people that my son was with. Check it out.
If you're a mom, then you know just how expensive it is to feed a house full of kids. I mean, I need an entirely different budget category dedicated.
Check it out. You see what I'm saying? I believe she trying to tell the public, like, hey, look, check this out. This is who my son was with. You know, even though they saying that he stayed back, but didn't come home, and now all of a sudden they found my son and he's dead, and they are assuming that my son drowned. Like, how do you drown? Like, I'm talking about on an island. Like, how do you drown? You know, on the island, you know, there's no drop-offs or nothing like that. You can walk out to the water. And if he did drown, what about the people that he stayed with then? How come they are not coming forward and saying, hey, look, check this out. He got drunk and then he walked off into the deep end of the water. He was drowning and we just sat there and we watched him and we just let him drown because we didn't want to get in the water and save him. Like, how is it a mystery? You see what I'm saying? And how come the people that he was with, I got to reiterate this, how come they are not coming forward and saying anything? I don't believe that he stayed with somebody. Look, I got to be 100 with y'all. I do not believe that they left him behind and he said, look, I want to stay over here. Y'all go head back to the mainland. I'm going to kick it over here. I don't believe that right there. That right there just don't sound right to me. But not only that, for the simple fact that here it is, this is close friends. We're close friends. You see what I'm saying? Hey, look, check this out, man. We finna go, bruh. Is you coming or what? You know what I mean? Nah, man, you can't stay here by yourself, man. We came together, we leave together.
That's facts. If we get on a boat and go across the water to an island and ain't no way back but the boat, now you getting your ass on this boat. You coming back with us. I'm not leaving. We not know. Why would he stay on the island? It's all a lie. It's all a lie, people. It's a lie. They took his phone from him to leave him stranded.
You know, I mean, that's how close friends do things. And if that's not the case, I mean, it looks suspicious that his close friends, I should say, his close friends, all of a sudden delete all their social media after they find his dead body. You see, before that, there was no deleting of the social media or none of that type of stuff, but they were silent. But now that they have found his body, now they deleting social media sites and all type of stuff. Why? This is my friend. Why I'm gonna delete my social media site if my friend
indeed is a friend in need. I'm a friend indeed. So what do you need? I need a ride back off that island. I need you not to leave me stranded on an island if you my friend. What about your friends? Will they ever? What about your friends? What about your friends? Friends, friends, friends. What about your friends? His friends, I believe, did something dirty. With his homies, feeling just fine. How many of us have been pondering lately? How many of us a lot of different things on my mind. How many of us have it seems lately my friends list? How many of us have took a slight decline? How many of us have? And if you wanna know the truth, man, how many of us then what no friends of mine? If you wanna know the truth, they wasn't no friends of his. And that ain't no lie. Rest in peace to Nate Dogg. Rest in peace to this young man right here. They were not your friends. I'm saying they're not his friends. Not that they unalived him. They left him on the island, took his phone, and then deactivated their social media accounts. Those were not his friends. Y'all have a good day.